I am Michael Kurosh. I live in Santa Barbara, California, one of the most beautiful places on earth. My design center is where people come to reimagine their homes and spaces. I work with the best designers, clients with broad tastes, and experts who navigate the fascinating world of design. I'm always excited to learn something new, and I never say no to a challenge. This is Design Santa Barbara. Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I am Michael Kurosh, and today we are in Santa Barbara Design Center, where I'm excited to be continuing our series exploring the history, architecture, and design of the world's most fascinating cities. This week we are going all in and talk about fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Please join us. Las Vegas is Spanish for the meadows. Located in a desert valley at the southern tip of Nevada, this sprawling, neon-soaked oasis has come to be known as the world's playground. It has been featured in countless movies and television shows, and it is home to some of America's most recognizable sights. As one of the most visited cities in the world, Las Vegas plays host to over 30 million guests annually. It is known for its cuisine, nightlife, entertainment, and of course, gambling. It is a city rich in culture, architecture, and design. But before any of that came about, it was just a quiet, dusty spot on the road out west. Las Vegas was given its name in 1829 when a Spanish explorer and merchant set up a trading post in the valley. Nearly 15 years later, a U.S. Army battalion under the command of John C. Fremont established a fort in Las Vegas. Today, Fremont Street is one of the major attractions of Las Vegas. Fremont's exploits also have a connection to our community. While on the same expedition that established the fort at Las Vegas, war with Mexico broke out and Fremont marched west, eventually taking control of Santa Barbara. Part of the route these soldiers took over the mountains is known today as Fremont Trail inside our beautiful Los Padres National Forest. After the war and two more expeditions, Fremont's writings about the Western Territories sparked the imagination of Americans and propelled expansion across the plains to Oregon, California, and Nevada. Within a decade of Fremont's initial visit, a Mormon fort was established in Las Vegas. Meant as a halfway point between Salt Lake City and Los Angeles, the fort provided lodging and provisions to Western travelers. It was eventually abandoned, but what remains of it can still be visited today, less than 2 miles away from the Las Vegas Strip. For the next 70 years, Las Vegas remained nothing more than a quiet railroad stop through the unforgiving desert. Its population in 1900 was 25, and when it was officially incorporated as a city in 1911, there were only 800 residents. When we come back, the city of Las Vegas experiences one of the biggest economic booms in American history, along with another type of boom. Stay tuned, there is plenty more Design Santa Barbara after the break. It's been an interesting time for all of us. It was difficult to be separated from the world, but I was incredibly lucky to be able to spend much time with my family. Being home for so long showed us just how important our living spaces are and why proper design is essential. If you are ready to redefine your living space, come in and see me. It would be my honor to help you. We are Santa Barbara Design Center at 410 Olive Street, and we are ready. How many times in the last year have you said to yourself, I really need a new sofa? Spending so much time at home lately, you deserve the most comfortable furniture. At Santa Barbara Design Center's massive showroom, we have numerous selections of sofas and sectionals that you can take home today. Or we can custom build your dream sofa. We make the most comfortable and stylish sofas and sectionals in the industry today. Just ask the top designers in Santa Barbara. They use our sofas and sectionals in their projects because they know clients are beyond satisfied with the results. For a decision as important as this, don't go online or buy from a catalog photo. Come into 410 Olive Street and let our experienced team help you find the perfect fit for your home. Trust me, you want to sit on it before you buy. Today on Design FYI, we're going to talk about what not to buy when you're going shopping for rugs. Most big outlets or national chains, they sell nowadays hand-tufted rugs. This sounds like it's hand knotted, it's done by hand, but actually they are not. It's called hand-tufted and is actually a gun that rolls the wool around the warp, and they are not good rugs at all. So this is a sample we're having here for you to see. Anything that has a backing like this, flip your rugs over at home, see if it has a backing, is absolutely not good. So what it does is it hides what they did below this thing, which is a latex glue, which actually is toxin. And if you have got any rugs over the net, I hate to say it, over the net, because it's easy to sell and they're inexpensive, you buy these things over the internet. So when it comes to your house, they smell. Have you noticed that? They smell more like a gasoline or more like a diesel because they don't let the latex cure. And the latex that glues this wool to this backing smells a lot. On top of that, they shed quite a lot. The wool is cheap because they need to be inexpensive, and they shed. I would not recommend you to get anything, again, that has a backing and is glued because it comes apart very easily. It is temporary. It is not a green product because they wear very quickly, end up in the fill, and just basically as a landfill junk we are adding to our planet. The things I would recommend you to get, unlike these things that have backing, is the rugs that they have nuts to them. So as what to buy, I highly recommend you to get some rugs that they are hand knotted. And how you can see, flip it to the back, and you can see the knots are done individually, and each one is slightly different than the next one because they're done by hand, and the intensity of the wool and the pull they have, the weaver, makes them look different. Also, the sides are done by hand. That you can see very easily. If you want to buy a real rug, please come to Santa Barbara Design Center and I can gladly help you. Thank you for joining us on Design FYI, Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. Today we are exploring the history, architecture, and design of one of the world's most exciting cities, Las Vegas. Let's learn more about how this incredible place came to be. 1931 was undoubtedly the most consequential year in Las Vegas history. Two major events occurred that set in motion nearly a century of economic expansion. First, gambling was legalized, and second, construction began on the Boulder Dam.
Boulder Canyon, site of the world's greatest engineering project, where muscle and brain combine with machines to speed up construction in this gigantic undertaking. It's a big order being carried out in a big way by men perched high up on the canyon walls, drilling holes for huge charges of dynamite for blasting. Thousands of tons of solid rock are blown down into the canyon by every blast. It is estimated that the dam will be finished in 1938, provided much-needed irrigation for California's Imperial Valley and desert lands. Gigantic diversion tunnels to carry off the water give a slight idea of the vastness of the plan, which will create a living for countless thousands by putting the swift-flowing Colorado to work.
Later to become known as the Hoover Dam, this marvel of architecture and design turned Las Vegas into a boomtown virtually overnight. Thousands of workers were paid to build the dam, who then turned around and immediately spent their wages in the newly built casinos. With this constant economic stimulus, Las Vegas fared far better than most American cities during the Depression era. The Hoover Dam was finished 2 years ahead of schedule in 1936, and Lake Mead, The reservoir created by damming the Colorado River is not only the largest man-made lake in the world, but also provides Las Vegas Valley with most of its water to this day. At launch, the Hoover Dam power plant was the largest hydroelectric generator in the world. And even now, 80 years later, it provides nearly a quarter of the electricity for Nevada, Arizona, and the city of Los Angeles. Over the next few years, Las Vegas expanded rapidly. New casinos popped up, including the Golden Nugget on Fremont Street and the Flamingo on Las Vegas Boulevard. Unlike the gambling halls of early Las Vegas, these facilities were owned and operated by organizations with less than clean reputation. One of the fathers of modern Las Vegas gambling, Bugsy Siegel, ran afoul with his partners and met an unexpected end in 1947. One would think that such an event would scare people away. But the sensationalism of his murder in the world papers actually caused a tourism spike. The city would remember that odd embrace of the macabre a few years later when another instrument of death became entertainment. In 1951, the United States government began atomic bomb tests just 65 miles outside of Las Vegas. For the next 12 years, Las Vegas came to be known as Atomic City. Guests traveled from around the world to see the flash and mushroom cloud from over 100 nuclear tests, with casinos marketing them as exciting events. In 1953, a beauty pageant was held in Las Vegas to crown Miss A-Bomb. The nuclear age paved the way for many mid-century design elements and aesthetics, including new styles of homes and a plethora of objects inside them, such as uranium Tupperware, atomic-shaped lighting, and the famous Eames chairs. Beyond tourist attractions, in the 1950s, Las Vegas became an entertainment capital with stars such as Elvis, Liberace, and the Rat Pack becoming regular performers at casinos. For $5.95, including dinner and 2 drinks, guests could enjoy a show featuring Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, and Joey Bishop. The Rat Pack show was mainly a way for these iconic stars to have fun and make some extra money while shooting the classic heist film Ocean's 11. But once word of their nightly antics got around, it became a must-see in Las Vegas, selling over 34,000 tickets in total. You could look around the audience and see people in the crowd like Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe, or President-elect John F. Kennedy, who attended the February 7, 1960 performance. A few years later, Elvis Presley opened a new show at the International. Over the next 7 years, he sold out 636 consecutive performances, setting a world record and cementing his place in Las Vegas history. To this day, the king still reigns. After the break, we are going to learn about architecture and design in Las Vegas. Stay tuned. We will be right back. This week on Design FYI, we're going to talk about sofas and the unknown mistakes people make. Did you know average American spends 46 minutes a day in a car, but they spend 5 hours and 4 minutes on average on a sofa? So why would you go out there and spend tens of thousands of dollars for something you use for 46 minutes and then go ahead and buy something cheap that you sit on it for 5 hours and 4 minutes? At Santa Barbara Design Center, we create your custom sofa that is made for you specifically and to your shape and size and comfort and your family. So when you're sitting and watching TV or talking and conversing with your friends, you're sitting on actually something that represents you. Your car represents you, why shouldn't your sofa? Thank you for joining us on Design FYI this week, and please come see me at Santa Barbara Design Center, 4th and Olive, and let me help you find the right sofa for you and your family. On today's Michael's Minute, I would like to talk to you about window coverings and treatments. Here's our specialist, Kara. Kara, would you kindly please tell us about the window treatment?
Absolutely. Here at the Santa Barbara Design Center, we do both hard and soft window coverings. These are our Norman shutters. And what you can do is you could partner these with our treatments. I've also seen some other of our clients partner with something a little bit more shimmery. Aside from the hard treatments, we do designer window treatments, and they come in an array of different colors. The big suggestion I have is don't be afraid of color and keep your finials and your rods very simple.
Well, thank you very much, Kara. I appreciate it. To see thousands of different window coverings, please come to Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. Today we are learning about the history, architecture, and design of Las Vegas. Let's learn more about this fascinating city. Las Vegas is most definitely the neon capital of the world. In 1959, the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada sign was constructed. For over 60 years, this mid-century modern design with flashing starbursts and pulsing light bulbs has welcomed guests from around the globe. As a nod to Nevada being the silver state, the circles spelling the word welcome are designed like silver dollars. Ironically, since its construction, the sign has never actually been located within Las Vegas city limits. With an abundance of power from nearby Hoover Dam, Las Vegas embraced lighting with a passion. Hotels and casinos covered their exteriors with flashing bulbs, neon tubes, and eventually digital screens. In recent years, the average electricity budget for a Las Vegas casino was $250,000 to $500,000 per month. But what happens when the power goes out? In a city where nothing is permanent, there is a truly unique museum that remembers the lights of yesteryears. The Neon Museum is an interactive walkthrough of marquees and architectural accents from Las Vegas history, and at night, these towering artifacts of days gone by get to live on and entertain visitors once more. Visitors are lucky to have these signs to enjoy, because the casinos and hotels they once advertised certainly aren't there anymore. Starting in 1993, the continuing trend of the grand public destruction that began with the atomic tests of the 1950s, imploding out of date casinos and resorts became a Las Vegas tradition. As Las Vegas entered the modern era, casinos with dedicated teams became popular. All in one block, you can visit ancient Rome, the City of Lights, the Big Apple, or a medieval castle. By the 1990s, Las Vegas had become a family-friendly destination. As the town evolved, the shady groups running the casinos gave way to corporations that built mega resorts and rebranded the town's primary activity as gaming, which sounded more wholesome to many. The era of wise guys and shootouts went the way of the imploded casinos. To document Las Vegas' darker past, the Mob Museum opened in 2012 inside the retrofitted Las Vegas post office. Here guests can learn about all the things they were not supposed to know about. And there is even a speakeasy where you can grab a drink of moonshine. Today, Las Vegas is a town on the move. It's estimated that over 100,000 people are moving to Las Vegas every year. New homes are being built on all sides of the valley, and every design element from Spanish colonial to ultra-modern can be seen across town. There are even historic districts where vintage homes from the 1950s and onward are preserved and enjoyed. High-rises boast some of the most luxurious condos in the world, with prices upward of $20 million for a single residence. On the Strip, new casinos are being built, the world's top chefs are opening restaurants, new forms of entertainment are premiering, and the city is expanding outward. It's hard to imagine that in less than 100 years, Las Vegas went from this to this. I hope you have enjoyed this look into the exciting city of Las Vegas. We hope you will join us for more Design Santa Barbara. Today I would like to talk to you about rugs. 3 important things to remember when you are buying a rug. First is the size. Size is very important, and this is what you have to do your study. So if it's for a living room, I recommend to have the front legs of all the furniture to sit on the certain rug you're buying. So go measure it. Make sure you have at least a foot extended beyond the front legs. If you can afford it, get a rug that encompasses all the furniture to be sitting on it. So usually for a living room, you're talking an 8x10, 9x12, a bigger living room, 10x14, and if you want something to sit on it, 12x15 or 12x18. Second, there is a style. It is very important that the style you pick matches the house you have. Check the room. Is it a traditional house? Is it a modern house? Is it a transitional house? You pick the style matching your house and your living style. Lastly, and one of the most important steps, is the type of rug you're gonna buy. I highly recommend you to do your study and see what type of rug is good for your situation. Most rugs I recommend are hand knotted. So these are the type of rugs that they're done by hand. They're mostly natural fibers. They don't have any chemicals. They don't have any machines involved making it. They're hand knotted and they get more valuable over the time, and they're very durable and long lasting. These are 3 things to remember when you're buying a rug. Thank you for joining us. On this edition of Michael's Minute, I would like to talk to you about mid-century modern furniture. Mid-century modern is described as the period between 1933 and 1965, in which designers such as Eames and Nakashima used clean lines and futuristic materials to propel design into a post-war era. At Santa Barbara Design Center, you can see and feel a variety of mid-century inspired furniture, including our signature leather chairs and recliners with classical wood frames. Accent them with side tables, daybeds, ottomans for a slick, artistic look. Customize these pieces to fit your home perfectly. To bring mid-century modern style to your home, please visit us at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street. Today on Design Santa Barbara, we are getting back to my favorite subject, woven arts. Today we have few bags and bag faces. They are a little bit of a mystery what they were and why they made them for, but very simply back then, 100, 200, 500 years ago, they didn't have shops that can go buy luggage and pack it and move. These are tribal people. They move in the winter time to the lowland because it's warmer and there's pastures. In a high summer, they move up to a higher elevation. It's colder and there's grass for the sheep and goats to feed on. So these were woven by this amazingly talented and passionate weavers. They were both-sided. Each one used to go each side of a donkey or a horse, and they were acting exactly as what they are. They are bags. Lately, a lot of them lose their backs because they were rubbed against the animal, they were against the elements, and they call them bag faces when that happens, when they don't have the original backs. Today we have different ones. They come from different parts of the weavers. This is a Baluch bag, and it's a double bag and is in perfect shape. These are from Western Iran. It's an area that encompasses southern Afghanistan, Western Pakistan, and East Iran. These are Baluchis. And this particular one is a double bag from Baluchistan. This beautiful example that has original bag, lost a pair to it, but still here. This is a Qashqai. Comes from West Iran, high elevations, most saturated colors. As you can see, they like color. They live in an arid land and they love warm, bright colors. The third one today is a Jaff Kurd. These people live in a wide range of high mountains from East Iran all the way to southwest, and very talented. These colors to get from natural dyes are not easy, and they just do it because they have a passion and they like this. The fourth one is an Afshar, has a still original back. Again, rare to get the original back. They all have the goat hair around them, because snake never crosses a goat hair. Think about it. You live in a desert, you live in an arid area, there is poisonous snakes. So as long as you can encircle yourself with the items that they have goat hair around them, snake never crosses it. That's an interesting thing to know. Prices range very much. So they are again rare nowadays. A lot of people have collected them through the centuries. The Baluchi, which is 19th century, I would say late 19th century, 1890 to 1900s. I value it as like $2,500. The Jaff, which is a little bit bigger, a little bit more unusual in size, but has bright colors, has still in great condition. I value it $3,500. The Afshar, with original back and these beautiful designs and original goat hair surrounding. Again, $2,500. And I would say the best one of these group is this amazing Qashqai, which is very fine weave, is amazing colors. This nowadays retails for $5,000 to $6,000. I hope you enjoyed today's appraisal. Looking forward to see you next week.